Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Beks Creates podcast. My name is Beks and I'm coming to you from a finally sunny and beautiful Bristol, where I live with my husband Paul, our 14-month-old son Jasper and our Norwegian forest cat Mufasa. So I'm back. It's been a long time. I've just looked and it's been 2 months since I managed to record a podcast, and it has not been for want of trying. The only time I've basically had in the last 2 months where I could have podcast was when I had no voice. So it's just really difficult because either Jasper's here and awake and around, or he's asleep, and I don't want to be like doing loads of chatting and making noise because I prefer to podcast upstairs. It's not light enough downstairs, so it's just a whole thing. So I've been trying for ages, but this morning he's gone out with Granny for the morning, so I have a few hours to myself. So I thought, right, I'm going to podcast, and I have such a massive pile of finished objects to show you. I need to get them shown so I can get them put away because they're just piling up now. I've been knitting loads. Jasper's been napping really well during the day, so I've had loads of knitting time, so I've had loads to show you. I've been desperate to do it for ages, and I keep saying to Paul, I'd like to podcast today, and then something always happens, like even on a weekend when Paul's home to look after him, something happens, like somebody will turn up, or I don't know, there's just always something. So finally I have time and I'm going to do it today. It might be a long one, but hopefully not too bad. So it's the school holidays where I think this is the first full week of the school holidays. I lose track. I never know when it's term time because I only work 1 day a week, so I don't know what's going on. And for the first time ever in my teaching career, I'm actually missing school in the holidays, would you believe? Because Thursdays are my sanity day. They are my go and talk to adults and finish a cup of tea and, go to the toilet on my own, and just, yes, my me day, my Mrs. Dickson day, not mummy day. So I'm kind of missing it. Trying to keep busy with Jasper, obviously, in the holidays, but not getting much break. This is the first day I've had without him in over 2 weeks. So yeah, it's needed. But other than that, I've been really enjoying watching the Olympics. We've had that on non-stop. Jasper's been really interested in it, actually, watching like the divers and the horses and the swimming, and he's really into it. It's great. But yeah, I've been really into it. In fact, I'm trying to squeeze this podcast in now before there's diving at 10 o'clock. So I'm a bit obsessed. And yeah, we've been enjoying the lovely weather. It's been baking this week, which I'm not complaining about, but I am kind of done with now. It's been about 5 days and I am ready for it to be a bit cooler now, because it's just hard work with a little one, trying to keep him cool and out of the sun, and trying to keep myself cool while I'm like carrying him around, and it's a lot. And all I do all day long is shop for food, prepare food, and make sure everybody's fed all day. I go to Sainsbury's like nearly every day, and I'm just in the kitchen all the time, which in this weather is not very fun. So yeah, I'm done with it now. Anyway, enough of my boring, mundane housewife life. I'm not complaining really. And let's crack on with the knitting. So I've got a lot of socks. All I've seemed to want to knit lately really is vanilla socks. So I've got quite a lot of those. So I'll start with those. The first pair are going to be for my goddaughter Freya's birthday. She'll be, she's 9 in October. And she now has a size 3 feet. Me and her mum are size 5s. So she's rapidly catching us up. So I've come up with a cunning plan. What I'm now doing is knitting her socks to fit her mum. And then, so she's got a couple of sizes growing room to get her through the next year or two. And then when she grows out of them, her mum can have them, so they won't go to waste. So that's good. So this yarn's been sitting in my stash for a couple of years. Claire actually bought it for me at Unravel one year, I think. And it's from Bono Yarns. And the colourway is Sweet. And it's just gorgeous. It's bright, bright, bright pink with all these gorgeous coloured speckles. And I love how the speckles sort of micro stripe. It did interrupt a bit on the heel, but it's fine. They look great anyway. There are two, just got one on the blocker. I did a 1x1 twisted rib, just because I think it looks really neat. I did a heel flap and gusset. Yeah, I am a heel flap and gusset girl now. Can you believe? I always do a garter panel down the side, and I've got a bit of a trick now that stops too much in the way of holes on the pickup, and makes the pickup really nice and easy and neat, and a rounded toe. So yeah, really happy with those. They flew off the needles just because the colour was just so joyous. I'm really trying to make a concerted effort at the moment to knit through some stash. I don't have an enormous stash by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have quite a lot of stuff, a lot of Bird Street seconds that I get given. Oh, and I should say, I forgot to say at the beginning, you will see some yarn that is ad gifted from Bird Street Yarn, because Claire is my sister. So I am very lucky to often get given all sorts of lovely goodies from Bird Street Yarn. So, and obviously I use them. So yeah, just a heads up there. So yeah, I'm trying to knit through, and I've got loads of single skeins of sock yarn. So I'm just trying to knit through. So I'm trying to, you know, make some gifts, that sort of thing, just to get them used. I'm going to the Southern Wool Show in September, and I'd like to buy some new things, so I need to make a bit of space for it, really. Yeah, and on the subject of gift knitting, I'm trying to do some more gift knits this Christmas. So, and obviously I get an okay amount of knitting time, but not as much as I used to. So I've started that now. I got to the point where there was nothing I really wanted to knit for myself as well. So I thought, well, I might as well use the time for gift knitting and get ahead of the game. So that's what I'm doing. So this pair is for Freya for Christmas. This yarn was given to me by my lovely friends Jo and Rachel, who are twin set and pearl. And I've lost the band, but I think it was from the To The Max Yarn Company, which was like a previous incarnation of Frankie Grey Fibres, sort of. But I don't know what the colourway is. It was a really nice yarn to knit with though. Lots of fun, lots of cute little pastel-y neon-y speckles. And yeah, not a lot to say about this one really. 2x2 rib cuff, heel flap and gusset. I did end up with a heel, but I think what I possibly did was too many rows on the heel flap. So I think I've ended up with some holes where I didn't pick up enough stitches. I don't know, but it's fine. They'll be fine. They will be appreciated. So it's all good. So that's those. So that's Freya's Christmas and birthday done. Amazing. Got to move on to her mum next. Next are another pair of shorties. So going back a while, I was trying to experiment and find my best shorty recipe, because I was finding all my shorty socks were just falling off my heels, driving me mad. So I got rid of them all and started again. So now it's hard to remember because I did these ages ago. So I'll start with the yarn. The yarn is Funfetti by Somerset Yarns. Tracy's just the master of gorgeous neon speckles. And I used just a tiny bit of, I think it was Jellyfish by by Somerset Yarns, to just do the cast on. And I think what I did on this pair is, because I found that starting my cuff with a 2.25mm needle and then changing up to a 2.5 after the heel was working well for me. And I was doing them on I was doing 64 stitches, but I decided to try 60 on this one and then only decrease back down to 64 after the gusset decreases. But I think I've taken it too far now. I think 64 is fine. So these they're not tight, but they do pull. They do pull, and I get some pulling across the gusset stitches. So yeah, I think I have now found my perfect recipe. I've done all the experimenting I needed to do. I have got two, just to prove it. I love these. They're so fun. So fun. I can't remember the last time I wore socks, but I shall be excited to wear these when I do. So that's another pair for the collection, building up nicely now. Next pair of socks, these were my car knitting socks. So I always have a pair of vanilla socks in the car for when Jasper has a car nap, or if we're on a journey and Paul's driving, stuff like that. So these are actually for Paul. These are for our wedding anniversary, which is in a week, 1 week today. This yarn is Dark Side from Bird Street, and it's gorgeous, loads of fun colours. I've done a magic heel. He really likes those, and he's got massive feet, so they go on forever. So yeah, not too much to say about those, and you'll see in a minute I'm already on to his birthday socks. I like to give him a pair for sort of every occasion if I can, really. It's just a nice little extra present, and he really appreciates them, so it's worth the effort. Sorry about all the leaning. I've got no space here. I'm in Jasper's bedroom, as you might have noticed, because Paul is in the craft room working. So I've got the ironing board over my shoulder. It's not the prettiest, but it'll do. So I'm surrounded by not only like all my finished objects, whips, acquisitions. I've also got like the nappy bin and a fan and the washing basket, so I don't have much space. So everything's been like put in the windowsill afterwards, so there's not loads of room. Right, so back to the Christmas gift knitting. Got a bit of a Christmas in July thing going on here. When I went back to work in May, I moved to a different year group, which I'd never been in before. I went into foundation stage, which is the little ones, 4s and 5s, who just started school. And so I've not really worked with any of that team before. A couple of the teaching assistants have been in other year groups with me before, but generally I've not worked with any of them before. So I've not really knit them any presents before, which is nice. So, and also being reception means that we've always got the door open because the children play outside all day every day, so it's cold even in May and June this year. I mean, we've had unseasonably cold weather this summer so far, apart from this week. Yeah, there was times in May and June where I could have done with some knitwear on. It was really that cold. So I thought some knitwear would go down well for Christmas presents for all of those guys. So I have made for one of the TAs, I've made these mitts. These are the Thorny Briar mitts by my lovely friend Suzanne from Green Lambkin Yarns. This pattern is just amazing. I can bash one of these out in a day. And the yarn is a DK, and it is, I think it's Mallow by Bird Street Yarn. It was a second that Claire gave me. It's got one tiny little pink dot here, but I quite like it. It's like a little heart. Yeah, and I've knit them exactly to pattern. Really like them. I think they'll be a lovely gift, and I definitely will be making some more of those for gifts. I think they'll go down really well. They're so comfy. I love that they really hug your hands. God, I'm boiling now. I shouldn't have put those on for so long. Why did I do that? Okay, so next one is, so I've already mentioned my lovely friends Jo and Rachel from Twin Set and Pearl. They came out with the amazing Simon shawl a while back, and you've probably seen it because everybody's knitting it, and I've already knit too. Such a cool pattern. I absolutely love it. And Rach was sort of teasing Jo for a while that she should knit a Simon cowl, and eventually Jo did, and she very kindly wrote the pattern, well, sort of wrote the instructions and added it to the Simon shawl pattern. So because I already had that, I got the cowl pattern, so I wanted to knit one straight away, and this was such a fun knit. So here it is, show you. So it's just a simple cowl with some shaping to make it lower at the front, and this cool panel of rib down the back so that it is pulled in a little bit. And yeah, it's really easy. You just basically work some of the sections of the shawl pattern and then join it up. So it's a really quick knit. It only uses about 50 grams of each yarn. The yarns I used were some seconds from Bird Street, again, in the colours Sassy and Beauregard. So the coral is Sassy and the lilac is Beauregard. And I'm really pleased with it. I'll pop it on. Probably end up boiling. But this is such a great fit. I can see that I'm going to be wearing this a lot in the winter, because I found last winter shawls weren't very viable, because like bending over the buggy a lot and stuff like that, it would just fall off, or Jasper would pull it and it would fall off. So this feels like it's going to be really, really handy. And I'm definitely going to knit some more of these. I already am. I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, really great pattern. If you don't have the Simon shawl pattern, there's another reason to get it now, because yeah, it's just brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so when I was knitting that, when I just finished it, I was showing my mum, and she was here with my great niece Megan, who, bless her, she's very knitworthy. She's very, well, she's just into clothes and glitter and makeup and shoes. She's going to be 3 in September. Proper little diva, she loves it. And when I was showing my mum my finished cowl, I put it on and she went, "Is that for me?" And I was like, "It's not, but I'm gonna have to knit you one now, aren't I?" So what I decided to do was make her one for her birthday. I'm gonna knit her a hat as well, which I need to crack on with because it's only a month till her birthday. But yeah, so I decided to knit her something similar. So basically she liked the colours. So what I've done is I've used the leftover yarns from my cowl, and I've just done stripes, because obviously I didn't want to knit one that big for her and I didn't know how to adjust the numbers. So I just sort of used the basic idea. So I've done the I-cord edging, which I just love. It just makes it look so neat and professional. Just little thin stripes. And then I've done the little panel of rib at the back, but I accidentally Kitchenered it together the wrong way, stupid girl. So I've got the seam on the outside, but she really won't be bothered. So hopefully it'll be okay for her. It should go on her little head. And yeah, I've got loads of both of the other yarns, so I'm going to make her a little hat. I don't know whether I might do either like one of the colours with the other for a pom-pom, or stripes, or just one colour. I don't know yet, but I will do that. But yeah, that's Megan's birthday present. Luckily, I have lots of knit-worthy people in my life, so yeah, keeps the needles busy. Right, so next, oh no, just found this has got a pull, so but luckily it's on the wrong side. So last time, you will remember, I was knitting my Stripometry by Stephen West, and it is finished, and I don't know how I'm going to show you because it's so big. So here it is. Yeah, it's glorious. So I knit this using some Bird Street yarn seconds again. I don't actually know what the red's called. I don't think it's one they make often. Yeah, I don't remember. The pink again is Mallow. I think, no, it's not Mallow. Middleton, maybe? I can't remember. And then some pink Surrey alpaca. So I ran out of the Surrey alpaca in the end. So there's one stripe of it here, but then this section should have been the 2 pinks, but I had to switch to pink and red, but it was fine. I just wanted to use up stash, and in all this stripy craziness, it really doesn't matter. This was such a fun knit. I loved the modular construction. That was really fun, and it made it go much quicker because you didn't end up with massive rows. Most of the sections where the rows get longer, you start on the longest row and decrease down, so it went really quickly. I decided to do a striped I-cord, which I found really fun. Took ages because that is a mile of I-cord, but I actually really enjoyed it. So let me put it on. It is so fun. I do love it. I've got a pink fluffy coat. I think it's going to look lush with that. Yeah. So yeah, really pleased with that one. Oh, too hot to be trying these things on today. It's cooler today, but it's still like 23 degrees already, so pretty warm. So onto some garments. Still going with finished objects at 20 minutes in. I can't believe it. So I can't remember, had I finished my Jethro cardigan last time? I might have done. So this is the Jethro cardigan by Tanis Fibre Arts. It is a crochet and knit hybrid pattern. So the squares are crocheted, and then the button bands, ribbon and sleeves are all knit, which I just love. I just think it gives it such a nice finish. Now, when I finished this, I wore it a couple of times and I decided the sleeves were too short. They just sprang up and the cuffs were too short and too loose. So I went back, picked up the sleeves, knit straight for a while longer, and then decreased down to a much smaller needle and did, I think, pretty much double the length cuffs. I always like a really deep cuff, so I don't really know why I didn't in the first place. But I just love this cardigan. I've worn it loads already. It's such a nice fit. You see the sleeves are better now. It's such a nice fit. It's such a nice length. I'll stand up and see if I can show you. It's just like just below the hip. And it's just been perfect. I've knit it in cotton, which was a great move. I love a cotton cardi, and it's been great like for summer evenings. It looks really nice with my denim shorts, but it is really warm as well, so it will be lovely in the autumn too. So I definitely will be knitting another one of these. I loved it. I keep saying I'd really like to knit one in a solid colour, which I don't know if it's a silly move really, if I'll just get really bored, but also it will mean like no ends to sew in, so, or hardly any. So it's tempting. We'll see. If I do, I think a navy blue would be brilliant. I think it'd be really useful. We'll see. We'll see. See if I've got the stamina for it. But I've got some other patterns in my library that I'm keen to have a go at that are also, well, no, actually, I've got a crochet cardigan pattern in my Ravelry library, and it's all crochet, but I would be tempted to make it and actually do the same and knit the ribbing, because I think that would look really nice. So watch this space. Anyway, my final finished object is the toaster tee. This is a pattern by Rebecca of the Crea Bea. Everyone's knit it, I'm sure you've heard of it. So I saw it and I really wanted to knit one with like eyelet rows, but when I looked at the pattern comes with a PDF of like ideas of how to modify it, but it doesn't actually tell you specifically. You've kind of got to work it out for yourself. So I thought what I'll do is knit one plain first, get my head around the pattern, check that I like it, and then I'll knit one with eyelets, which you'll see in a minute. And I'm really glad I did that, because there was a few little tweaks that I wanted to make. So I'll show you this one first. So I used 2 skeins of Bird Street Seconds. I don't know what the colours are, I'm afraid, because they weren't labelled, and they were just slightly different in colour. So I just did like a little fade section, and I've just embraced the kind of ombre look with this one, which I've been really pleased with. Really happy with this, apart from here you'll notice it's sort of puckered, and basically the increases for the size I was knitting required you to increase every other row for a while and then every row for a bit, and where I've increased every row with the type of increases I was doing, it's just made it pucker. I haven't blocked this yet, so I'm sure that will block out, but I just didn't really like that look, so I've slightly tweaked that in my next one. But what I really love about this pattern is the neckline. It's got a really flattering neckline. It's not too high and it's a really nice shape. And yeah, I haven't worn it yet, but I'm sure I will soon. I do struggle. I see summer tees and I really like the look of them, but I make them and then when it's warm I can't bear to wear them. I just feel too hot. I'm really not a knit wearing summer kind of girl, but I make them anyway, so you know. I should either learn to love them or give them away. I have given them to my mum in the past, so you know, they've not gone to waste. Anyway, moving on to whips. I need to have a drink. Talking non-stop for 25 minutes. Okay, so in my very favourite Moth and Found bag, I have got another gift knit. I haven't got very far on this, but I'm knitting another Simon cowl for one of my TAs. What I'm doing with this one is I'm not including the shaping, because what I didn't want to do is have to refer to the pattern at all. So I have just cast on as the pattern tells you, and then I'm just going straight with the pattern, because I didn't want to refer to the pattern for the increases and decreases for the shaping. So I'm just doing a straight tube, but I think that would be fine. The colours I am using are Scuba, and we're going on a bear hunt from Bird Street Yarn. Love those colours together. It took a few goes to get the colours right. Really, this pattern is designed for two contrasting semi-solid tonals, but I really wanted to use up some of my speckled stash, so I eventually found one that worked well together but contrasted enough to see the pattern. But yeah, I haven't picked this up much, but this is one now that I can pick up with, you know, it's basically vanilla knitting, you know, it's no trouble. So I will crack on with that at some point. So that would be another gift done and out the way, which would be amazing. I'm sure I will thank myself when it comes to the craziness that is Christmas. My next work in progress, this is kind of a hibernating one, but you will, if you've been around for a while, you will know that I've been trying for ages to find the right pattern to use with this yarn, which I mainly wanted to use this, which is the, what's the brand? Rico Creative Make It Tweed, that's it. I really wanted to make something with this yarn. I think it's so cool. It's just like a very fine thread, and then it's got like neps in it, so it can make any yarn look tweed, hence the name. So I'm holding that double with this Drops Lima, just in a grey colour. I don't know the name of the colour. And I tried a couple of different patterns and it just wasn't right, sorry. So eventually I've settled on the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West, which is a free pattern, super simple. And I'm loving it so far. And looking at it now, I'm like, oh, why have I put this down? I need to crack on with this. I just wanted a big, thick, chunky grey shawl. And that's what I'm getting. So yeah, I need to crack on with this. There are two options in the pattern for the increases. You can either do make ones, I think, or you can do yarn overs, and the yarn overs are just a bit quicker and give you a bit of a lacy detail. So I went with that one. It's got a nice garter edging, which I really like. I always like when there's really nice attention paid to the edging to finish it off really neatly. And I'm just going to knit until I use the yarn up, to be honest. So I've got quite a lot of it, so hopefully it'll be nice and big and chunky. But yeah, that one, I've not been very drawn to pick that one up, but obviously it's going to be a long time till I can wear that one, so there's no real rush. Right, I'm going to save that because I'm not going to show you the project in there. I'm just going to show you the bag because it's an acquisition. Okay, my current car knitting is in this bag, which I love. Covered in cool people. I can't remember where the bag's from. And it doesn't have a label. It has this little rainbow tag on it. But it's a very nice bag. And I often use this for my car knitting. So I've got more socks for Paul. These are going to be his birthday socks. The yarn, now I know it's Lay Family yarn, so Kelly might be able to help me out on this one. It's gorgeous. It's just like a a beigey, goldeny beigey colour with like brown and green speckles and a few sort of mustardy speckles. Knitting up beautifully, I really like it. So yeah, that's just my car knitting, and we'll hopefully get some work on this weekend. I'm going on a little outing in the car. And then finally, I've got an acquisition first. New cool bag. I saw this and couldn't resist. It was in Poundland. Not actually Poundland, in the like clothing bit they have now at the back. I never usually look, but it was just hanging on one of the ends. And I was like, oh, that would make a cool project bag. And it was £6. So I thought it was really nice. It's like really sturdy. It's like rope with these sturdy handles. And I thought it was good. Plenty of room inside. So yeah, pleased with that. So I am now working on another Tolster tee, and I'm actually very close to finishing. Let me just find my needle stoppers come off, and I can see me losing stitches otherwise. So like I said, I really wanted to knit one of these with eyelet rows in, and that's what I've done. So the pattern suggested eyelet rows every 10 rows, but that would be very close together, and I thought it was too much, so I've done them every 20 rows. And this is how it's looking. I am on the rib, and the sleeves will obviously be short. I think I'm going to put one more eyelet round on the sleeves and then the ribbon, and it'll be done. So I'm really close. The yarn is, again, Bird Street yarn, and it is Parma, that's coming out pretty well. A very soft lilac with some tiny, just a few tiny speckles. Really, really lovely. And yeah, I really need to finish this because I need to wear this summer. I can really actually see myself wearing this one. It feels a bit lighter than my other knitted tees, so who knows, maybe this will be the one that converts me. So yeah, that's the Tolster tee. Yeah, I need to pick that back up because that can be done in an evening. I'm so close with that one. So that's all the current whips. I've got a few acquisitions. So first acquisition, I'm not going to show you the project that's in this bag because it might be a design, but I'm not ready to show you yet. But this bag, I've wanted one of these for the longest time. This is Arthur. Let's see if I can get this to be my, what's it called? Thumbnail. It won't be. It'll be one of me like scratching my face or like mouth wide open or something. It always is, but never mind. So yeah, this is from the wonderful Stitch by Mrs. D, my lovely friend Paula. I never managed to catch her shop updates, but Jasper was asleep in the car and I managed to catch one, and I love him. He's so cute. He's so soft. One of Paula's labels inside, and obviously I'm a Mrs. D too, so I love it. And this cute kite fabric for the lining and his dicky bow. And all of Paula's bags come with a little bit of info about the character that you are letting yourself in for. So this is Arthur. He likes playing cards, he tells great jokes, and he has wonderful taste in bow ties, obviously. The bad news is he snores, swears, moans about everything, stays up late listening to big band music, and burns food. So good luck. I love it. He's been quite well behaved so far, so we shall see. But yeah, this is Arthur, and he is gorgeous. He's so soft. So soft. I love him. He makes me very happy. Okay, finally, a few more bits. With all these gifts I've been knitting, I was thinking about ways to kind of package them, and what I thought I'd get is a little rubber stamp. So I actually just wanted one that sort of said hand knit for you or something like that, but I actually found one that I could personalize. So I got this stamp. I found it on not on the high street. It was really cheap and it came in 24 hours. It was unbelievable. So it just says hand knitted by Beki, and I thought I can either stamp that on like a tag and tie it to the present, or I could like make some sort of bands to go around pairs of socks, something like that. So that's really fun. when was it? About 6 weeks ago, we had Flock. It was the craziest day because Claire had some dental surgery, so she wasn't there. So it was basically me and John running the show. So we had some wonderful friends helping us. Everyone was really kind and helped us keep it going. But I was running the shop, setting up the shop, helping John with sort of welcoming and stuff, and it was just crazy. It was so busy, and there was loads of people there and loads of friends there, and yeah, it was mad. But it was wonderful. And one of the wonderful things about it was that James was there from James Makes Yarn, which, you know, he's just wonderful. It was so fun to have him, and Matthew, of course. And I couldn't resist this skein of James's yarn. Probably one of James's like sort of more subtle pastel-y ones, but I love it. It's so gorgeous. This is called Powder Room. I was tempted by another one that was very similar but had blue speckles, but these pink speckles just won me over in the end. And this is going to have to be something really special. I've still got a skein of Beanie Babies in my craft room. I need to knit something with James's yarn, but yeah, couldn't resist on that one. Then I've got Claire gave me this bit of sock tube that she knit up on her machine, just because she knew I'd love the yarn. This is Miami on the neon nep base, and it's just so cool. This glows under blue light. So it's quite a short tube. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know whether to, my options are, I guess I could cut it and then maybe add to it, like get a real contrast yarn and do some like really cool colour block socks. I like that idea. I do like that idea. So this could be the leg, and then I could add the foot or something like that. Or I'm kind of tempted to unravel it. I don't know. But I'd do something with it because it's amazing. I think it would look cool colour block or striped. Stripes would be cool. Maybe. I like it with this pink, but I don't think I want it striped loads with this pink. I could see like this colour striped with navy with pink cuffs and heels. Ooh. There's an idea. There's an idea. I think that's going to be a plan. And finally, I just had to show you, this is a knit, but it's not knit by me. This gorgeous little jumper was hand knit for Jasper's birthday by my lovely friend Rach, one half of Twin Satin Pearl, the youngest Butler twin. It's the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits, and it's just gorgeous. I just love it. It should have a little bit of growing room for him, which is nice, and I just can't wait to get the weather to wear it, for him to wear it. And actually, Jo very kindly wanted to get him something, and she didn't know what, so I said, well, how about a little pair of jeans to go with the jumper that Rach knit? So this afternoon Jo's popping round with a pair of jeans to go with it, so he's just gonna look so cute. It's gonna be so sweet, especially now he's wearing little shoes. I'm gonna have to get him some like little boots for winter or something. It's gonna be gorgeous. Oh, so yeah, thank you Rach for that. I love it, and Jasper loves it actually. When I gave it to him, he gave it a little cuddle. Bless him. He's very knit worthy too. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. I've rattled through it a bit, but I just wanted to show you everything before it mounted up and got silly. So yes. So yeah, I'm really glad to be back. Yeah, as you see, I've got some ideas in the pipeline. I am working on a design which I hope will come off in the not too distant future. I'm getting my confidence back with designing. I keep like, oh, would anybody want to buy it? Is it different to anything else? But I need to just do it, I think. So I've got nothing to lose. So yeah, that's me for now, but I will be back hopefully a little bit sooner than 2 months. I will try my best. I hope you're all keeping well. Happy knitting, and I will see you soon. Bye.